Welcome into Sports City Nation. Today is Monday, March 30th, and we got to check in on Tiger's driving record, and we got to check in with the tournament, make fun of Duke, of course, for a very long time, and we'll find out how good is Arizona.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between by idiots for idiots.
Guess what? I came back just to make fun of Purdue. You still have 0 national championships.
This is Sports Idiot Nation.
Sports, comedy, pop culture, and everything in between. Welcome back, sinners. This is Season 2 of Sports Idiot Nation.
Welcome into hour number 12 of the Boozer Suicide Watch. Actively, we know they are still alive. We believe. Holy Toledo. I don't even know. Let's not start there, because that'll be like the entire show, and there is other newsworthy stuff.
Holy Toledo, UConn.
So,
what a tease.
I don't want to even go there. We're not going to go there. We're going to start with Tiger Woods. Let's start there, boys. Welcome into Sports Idiot Nation. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to everyone not named Tiger Woods. So I love how he's just in the background while it's like, you know, that one meme where everything's on fire and the little girl's just looking back like, like that's what that was like. He's in the background. The car's completely turned on its side, and Tiger's just like, he's on the phone, like ordering a pizza, I think is what they ended up realizing what happened. They checked his phone. He was just ordering Domino's.
Oh, I was going to say,
man.
I don't know if you were making a joke. I was going to say he probably was on his phone. I mean, how else do you flip your car like that? I mean,
no, he wasn't on his phone. He was on drugs.
A deer ran out in front of me. Yeah. Tiger. Sure. We've all used that excuse before.
30-foot trailer right there. My bad.
Here's how much money this guy is worth. And like, this is what I'm seeing comments all over the weekend was like, these people that could like hire a different driver, they could pay the salary of one driver, and they could pay that every month. Every month they can hire a year long and just hire them for 30 days and like put 12 people like to make a living. Like, that's how much money that these guys make, and they refuse to let someone drive for them. And if I'm Charlie, I'm at the age now that I can stand up and say, look, Dad, this is done. Okay. I'm not letting you drive anymore. This is happening. Like, he's old enough, right? He's what, like 17? If my father was doing things like this and I was 17, Miles, you know my dad, I would say, hey, look, we're not doing this anymore. Like, right? As a 17-year-old?
So, yeah, but the bigger story now, it's not about Charlie. It's all about the Trumps, because he's dating Vanessa. And there was a news story that just broke late last night was Tiger Woods no longer allowed to drive Trump grandchildren. That was like People Magazine that pumped up on our Sports Idiot Nation. I'm on there. The first thing, People Magazine. So I don't know which one of you two is toiling around with People Magazine, but it came up number one.
Not the best driver.
Not the best.
He like
He's
Trump,
the worst.
like,
Terrible.
he's the
Absolutely terrible. Cannot drive my grandkid. Kai, get away from this man. He just awful. But that was the other one. New York Post had the audacity to put out Kai Trump schmoozing with professional athletes at a tennis tournament when Tiger flips his vehicle. It's like, oh yeah, all these stories about girlfriends' children being in here. It's like the dumbest news stories you can imagine, but anything they can do to drum up more and more, because they want this thing to last all the way to the Masters. This was perfect timing for the media, whether it's sports or not sports related. So we're going to sit here and talk about Charlie standing up to his dad. No one cares about doing the right thing or the morality of it. They care about squeezing the juice out of this as much as they can, because now he's connected to the president of the United States, and the Masters is 2.5 seconds away. The media is loving every moment of this, and I'm enjoying the memes. I'm enjoying the reels. I think my favorite one so far for myself is the old sexy when he got pulled over. I think time number 1 of like 6. When the officer asked him to recite the alphabet backwards, not in a rhythmic manner, meaning don't sing it. And then he asked him to repeat the directions, and he says, "Don't sing the national anthem backwards." and then here, I have to recreate this. I got a small window, but I got to do this because so Tiger Woods about 30 seconds later does one of these. He Mr. Woods, I didn't ask you to walk. So he tried to start walking a straight line, and he's like on the green with his caddy looking at it. He's like, "I think it has a right curve to it. Sir, I just wanted you to walk a straight line." No, he didn't even ask him that. And he's like, "Mr. Woods, I didn't ask you to walk." He's clearly blasted. So I can only imagine
Super
how
Troopers
messed up he was.
It's like
Oh, the dude's a living meme now. But also conspiracy. The most famous one he had getting arrested for was 2017. He won a Masters 2 years later. So this just could be strategy. He's thinking ahead. All right, I'm not going to win this one, but last time when I really screwed up, got a DUI, I won Masters 2 years later. So he might just parlay this into a green jacket in 2028. We'll see. It's bold strategy, Cotton. But back to your point, Adam, it's probably best his 17-year-old son get a hold of him.
Yeah, I was going to say the best post out of this whole thing I've seen was from ESPN, and it was like 4 days before this happened, and it's Tiger Woods in one of those, virtual golf arena arcade looking things, and they're like, oh, he's getting zoned in, he's getting in the zone, and it's like, oh, the comments were just the best. It was like, oh, well, about that, commented myself on there. I was like, this aged like some spoiled milk, perfect timing there. You can't blame them. They wanted to get the clicks, but man, you talk about a backfiring post, like, oh, he's zoned in. He's ready to get back in the game. Like, oh yeah, he is. He's ready to get back in the game. All right. He's ready to get back in the drunk tank. That's what he's ready to get back into. So, but
my response to that would be, you can't predict that. And then I'm like, oh wait, yes, yeah, kind of good.
Yeah, old Tiger Woods, man.
So, all right,
one of my favorite Tiger Woods moments actually is from a.
Our portion of Tigers is good to go now. So we got that out of the way. It's time for this, dude. We're getting ever closer to talking about Duke. We're not there yet. So we got to get there.
Hold your Dukies.
So let's start with, I guess, having enough players on the court was Illinois. They definitely had enough, so that's always good. What Iowa did was still, as a 9 seed and being in the Big Ten, was still obviously really good. But Miles, what can you say about Bruce Underwood and Illinois?
Yeah, he's not Hoiberg, who will put 4 guys on the floor to help them get through. No, he was a hell of a basketball coach long before I got to Texas. And obviously I reference that because he made Stephen effing Austin what it was for a while. I mean, they looked like they were going to be the North Dakota State of mid-major basketball for a while. I remember when they pushed Notre Dame, or maybe even, hell, they may have beat Notre Dame and pushed Duke. That got my attention. Clearly, he was on the map. He spent all of 30 seconds at Oklahoma State, right, just a little bit north of me, and he balled out, and then he got that massive contract up at Illinois. And I was worried. at that moment. Obviously, IU, we've been irrelevant on the hardwood for over a decade now, but the reality is we still assume Indiana, oh, well, we're just 1 or 6 coaches away from being back. So when they hired Brad Underwood, I was like, that dude's going to make Illinois good, and they're going to be good for a while. And they have been. Now, obviously, before this season started, there was a lot of hype around them. There was all the talk of Stojakovic, which he ended up being a 6-man role, but that's kind of speaking volumes of him already, because kid can shoot the lights out like Peja.
He's hooping.
And the team can play defense, and they can shoot. I mean, they're a 3-and-D team. Like, they don't have a 3-and-D guy; they got a 3-and-D squad, and it's proven to work in March. I really thought it was Houston's bracket, but then when that game happened, and then I was tracking, because I wasn't watching the game live, but I was tracking, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this makes sense considering Houston's." I mean, their bugaboo this year was the fact that their defense wasn't what it was last year when they made a national title game. Especially the perimeter defense had issues this year. And then Illinois, you get a squad like that, they just got to get hot. Houston, much better offense than last year, but damn it, they're still not an elite offense. So you get locked down by Illinois, and all Illinois has to do is hit a few shots, and then it's on. Well, that game went from a very low-scoring 3-5-point game to snap of a finger, Illinois up 18, and it's lights out. So that, obviously, once that was done, that separated themselves from the pack in that in that region, in the South region. So once they had Iowa, I figured Iowa was going to push them for a bit, which, of course, all of us Indiana fans are pissed that we hired the wrong Drake coach. It's only been 1 year, but it's Drake on Drake, first-year head coaches between Indiana and Iowa. And obviously they made their run, and that was impressive. But Illinois clearly was the better team throughout the year. And I'm not sold that Illinois is going to contend for a national title. I don't know that they can hang with UConn, even if they can pull that off. Good luck against either Michigan or Arizona, probably Arizona, but we'll get to that later. Illinois, they are just a well-coached team. They are polished. They can shoot the lights out. They can do it consistently. When they get cold, guess what? They got a defense that can keep them in a ball game. They can keep the game low scoring against UConn. They don't turn the ball over. You don't turn the ball over like Duke does, especially when it's coming down to crunch time. You got a small lead. You're going to be all right. And again, where's the Final Four at this year, gentlemen?
Indeed.
Champaign-Urbana ain't too far away. So they're going to have that advantage over UConn playing in Indianapolis. So you know what? Illinois, they shouldn't beat UConn, but that game might not go as expected. The other semifinal we'll talk about later. Some weird stuff might happen, being that it's the Big Ten's year, and you're in Big Ten country in Indianapolis.
So here's some weird stuff. I'm going to give the mic to TI, because when we talk about Friday's games, Tennessee over Iowa State, UConn over Michigan State, Michigan over Bama, and by 5 points exactly, which he decided to make an instant reel on Facebook and Instagram. Follow Sports Idiot Nation wherever you get your social media to check out when TI decides to gloat a little bit. And
Mr. Turtles, he loves his reels.
It was pretty solid. I will. When I saw it, I was like, "This motherfucker!" I was like, so he played the clip of me basically saying, "Yeah, I got the Johnnies," and then TI's like, yeah, I think Duke by about at least 5." And then the score was 80-75. Take it away, TI.
So it goes. Yeah, I was watching it right there in the end, and they were getting to the free throw line, and I was like, "Oh, look at this!" And then he missed a free throw, and I was like, "You son of a bitch! You're gonna mess up my prediction." And then they ended up getting the ball back and foul, and everything. And then they're right there at the end. I'm like, "Oh man!" I'm like, hey, "It's 5," So I was just waiting, I was waiting. I was like, hoping they didn't hit a last second shot, and just for the box score and cut it to 3 or cut it to 2, whatever. But yeah, they they did it. They pulled it out there, gave me that opportunity to go back and hit that screen record on the iPhone. I could have hopped in, of course, in Riverside and bounced it down, but I was like, hey man, why not? I got it right here. Just screen grab, crop it, go ahead and throw it out there. Rest is history.
Yeah. So you called that. So that was the weekend, and then on. Well, let's talk through Arizona Purdue a little bit, because that was just, you kind of want to hate on Purdue, and you're like, well, they're the 2 seed for a reason. They would have been maybe even a 3 if they hadn't done so well in their tournament. And then as a 2 seed, you're supposed to get as far as the Elite 8, and that's about it. And that's what they did. Like, I want to hate on them, but as a 2 seed, they did what they're supposed to. You're supposed to lose to the 1 seed. What did they do? They lost to Arizona. That's a 1 seed. Now, they didn't look as good doing it, though, and maybe that's the thing where we can poke fun at. Or, Miles, how do you see it?
You sure about that? I would argue Purdue played their best basketball of the season in that game, because I've said it time and time again throughout the season, and I stand by it. This Arizona team is the best college basketball team since the 2014-2015 Kentucky team, a team that did not win the national title, mind you. The famous F that enter comment came out of that post-game press conference. I digress. When this team has Koa Pate in the lineup, he's not even the best player necessarily on the team. We have a very loaded freshman class, the best of all time, and it feels like half of them are on Arizona now. If Arizona does what they're supposed to do, there is honestly a true argument that this is the best college basketball team of all time. So when I say that Purdue led by 7 at half in that game, with what we know about that team and what they've done throughout the year and what they hadn't done throughout the year, that is beyond impressive. And of course, you know who I am, not just as an IU guy. It's not about Indiana. It's all my family, especially on my dad's side. They're all Purdue people. And I have a very, very hot and heavy family chat with that. And they're very cordial. Like it's mostly the women that are in it. Like they like sports. They don't talk crap about IU. It's not even that.
So they're wusses.
They're just in it. They just, you don't want to, hey, you know what? I just want both teams to have fun tonight type people, but they enjoy it and they follow it. And obviously they wanted their team to win. And when they lost, hey, I was happy that they got that far, and they're sending the memes of lay my head on the train tracks and, it rolled over me and they got derailed. But the fact that, yes, to your point, Purdue got that far, hey, they had an easier pack because Texas got there and this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter. We know what the bracket is. We know what happens come March time. And obviously, Texas was far better than an 11th seed. You have one of the best coaches in the country in year one as well. So they were legit Sweet 16 squad, and they'll be very, very good next year. And we can get in them in the next couple months. But anyways, Purdue, they got hot at the right time. And once they had that 7-point lead at half, it's like, no, Arizona, you're in for a fight, and you better wake up and be you for the second half, because Purdue is well coached. They're disciplined. They're not the most talented team out there, without question, but they execute. Reminds me of, another team from Indiana in another sport that just won a national championship. So you have to respect that. I mean, you and I, Adam, we know Matt Painter. We've spoken with Matt Painter multiple times, and we know what he's about. He hasn't gotten over the hump. It's hard to do so, but when you're Purdue, you're not a blue blood. You're not. And you're not the blue blood in your own state historically. Now, you might be. You're the best team in the state for the last while. But it's very hard. It's very hard to win there. And the fact that he's doing it in this era of NIL and transfer portal, but he's doing it with the homegrown kids. And he's doing it with 3-4-year players with his program.
They absolutely want to stay there.
And we've coached against and coached some of those kids on the AAU circuit, at least yourself has. It's impressive. It's very impressive. So you have to give credit where credit is due. At the end of the day, they're not Arizona. Arizona, God, they're good. They are so damn good. Yeah. And we'll talk more of them here in a bit, I'm sure. But Matt Painter, dude, I'm sorry that you're not an elite program, but it's your choice. You're a multimillionaire. It's fine. You do your thing, but you have to be impressed with what Purdue did for a half against an all-time team. I really believe Arizona's going to win this title, and they're the shit, dude. They're so good. I cannot say enough. How honestly, I'm impressed with Purdue, man. I didn't see it coming. I thought they were going to get bounced in the second round, and I'm eating crow, but at the end of the day, you still didn't win a natty. And
they lost by 15.
Zero
It was
national
just
titles.
not, and they still lost by 15.
And I'm still impressed.
That's crazy.
That's how good Arizona is.
Ti, what do you think of Arizona? And then we'll talk about Michigan.
I mean, yeah, it's plain and simple. I think Arizona was just kind of playing with their food a little bit. I think they were just kind of letting Purdue show them what they got, see how they were going to play them, and once they hit halftime, coach was like, "All right, come on, like we know what we're working with here." He probably drew up a couple plays. He probably watched a little bit of tape. Was like, "All right, look, this is their whole game right here. Shut this down. Shut this
48
down."
48-26.
Yeah,
that was the second half. 48-26.
I think that was the whole thing. I think he didn't want them getting out of their element. I think he was like, "Let's just let Purdue put it all on the table first half. You guys just play them. Don't let them run away with it. Keep them close. We'll totally outcoach them in the second half and put them away." And that's what they did. It was pretty obvious coming out the gate that how that game was going to end. Was I shocked at all to see Purdue be up a little bit? No, because we've been watching the tournament. They have been really good. As you all said, they got hot in the Big Ten tournament. They're playing good ball.
Yeah, but they never played Arizona. I mean, during the tournament, they got hot, but I mean, the best team they played was Texas, and Texas is 30 points worse than Arizona. So,
yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Hey, you called it. I mean, if you weren't shocked, you're the one who called it. I was shocked as shit.
I mean, 7 points is. I mean, yeah, it's 7 points, but let's be real. It's two 3-pointers and a free throw. I mean, so it's not like they're really
30 seconds into the half, Arizona had the lead.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they weren't really. They knew that they were not making that one out alive. But yeah, Arizona's
26.
Arizona's the best team in the tournament. I mean, I up until what happened, I did think Duke and Arizona were the two best teams. But as we will be talking about that in a moment,
very soon.
A little foreshadowing there. But yeah, Arizona is my pick to win. I think Adam picked them to win the tournament as well in his bracket. So
yeah,
Arizona's tough. But I mean, let's be real. This is the first Arizona team to make it the Final Four in 25 years. There's a reason why. They're damn good. So
they've had good teams in the past and didn't make it. But we talk about the second half.
5 straight regional final losses for them.
Yeah. So we talked about 48-26 was that score in the second half. In the first half of Michigan's game, guess what the score was in the first half?
48-26 was halftime. That's right.
Good
on you, Adam.
How about that? Only on Sports Idiot Nation are you going to see that. So when you're around the water cooler, hanging with the boys before you go to Chili's,
conspiracy.
Just know that
Fixed.
I gave you that. I gave that to you. 48
Make sure
to
you
26.
get a reservation. Make sure you get a reservation before you go to Chili's.
They do get busy.
Get busy.
I'll tell you right now, I got to interrupt. Shout out to my former boss at IU football, who's having the history and year of his life right now for sports, who was my boss at IU for IU football, so just won a national championship. He is from Michigan. He's a Michigan alum, Final Four team. And then the program that he was at before IU was Arizona, where he met his current wife, well, his only wife, and lives in Tucson again. So he's at Arizona, Michigan, and IU
wife.
guy. The dude, yeah, right. I'm not used to, I don't know how that goes. So anyways, I digress. The dude is a walking sports boner right now with 2 Final Four teams and a national championship in college football. So, yeah, that 48-26 will ring very well in his head when he watches this.
So, a moment of silence for the team in Tennessee. I'm holding my Wampus hat close. There you can see the Wampus close to my heart. Tennessee, you got the Royal Shiza kicked out of you, literally and figuratively. How about that jump ball that the whole state of Michigan was about to beat up those Tennessee players, dude. Like in the second half, like when you have Yuxel Lundenberg or London, whatever his name is, like
London Bridges.
Going like this, like 30 piece, like he was making that gesture of like scoreboard. We're giving you a 30 piece, bro. Like, dude, that is just the whole state of Tennessee. Sorry, Ti. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. That I know you're not, and
He's not.
you're like, hey, have it. I
I'm
like
more of a
Auburn.
Tennessee fan
I mean,
than
I
him.
got to see
I'm more of a Tennessee fan than him.
I mean, I got to see Alabama and Tennessee both get their ass kicked by Michigan, and
You're like, I'm good.
my team's still playing. My team got invited to a tournament. It's called the Nice Interesting Team Tournament.
Here's what I love.
Called
You
the
and
NIT.
Charles Barkley. So
Yeah.
when they're
My
talking,
team's still playing.
Kenny's like, well, how did you win the national championship without Jordan? Kenny's like, oh, I got hurt. How'd you do the tournament? Well, I was hurt. Charles Barkley, like that was gold. I do like I first get upset that they bring in guys who don't watch college basketball all the time, and then I realize, well, ratings be ratings because that is good. Like Charles Barkley and Kenny sitting on that right side of the screen, it's just gold. They're so hilarious, dude.
When they were given that little trivia wheel that they were doing the other night,
what
and
was that?
And they started getting to Bruce Pearl, and they started quoting Eminem songs to him. You know, like, do you know what that's from? You know what movie that's from? He's like, I don't know. It's like I have no idea. You know, it was
Clark
so funny.
Kellogg's got to be like, what is happening? Like he's just standing off to the side.
Let's check in on our brackets. And like any time that he'd go up to the bracket and Chuck be like, oh, you got to cross off Kentucky. And he's like, no, I picked them to win. They won that game, but they lost. Well, I chose them to lose that round. You still got to cross them off, dude. That's not how brackets work. You get it if you get the pick wrong. Like your bracket's a mess. No, the team lost and I picked them to lose. You dumbass. Well, but Kentucky's not in the Elite Eight. I didn't have them there.
Charles is even dumb in the commercials where they write the script for him. Like, all right, Charles, now you do this. Now you say this.
That's one thing I've got to. That's the thing I've got to speak on. They've got to put an end to these Capital One commercials. They are driving me crazy.
I'm being hassled.
The sorry Miss Jackson one did it in for me. I was like, no. I was like, nail and coffin. This thing is done. I can't handle it anymore.
Get Jennifer Garner off the TV.
Yeah, and her too. Yeah,
off.
Her. I just again, and the Capital One guy. Like again, I ran into this about an episode about like 10 episodes back. I was like, how did these people from commercials become household names? Like, I don't want to see the Capital One guy mentioned anywhere. There's that commercial where he's with
Lily from
Derek
AT&T.
Jeter and, and all this. And I'm just like, no.
Weren't you on the moon?
I am tired.
Didn't you win a World Series? Yeah.
Tired of the Capital One guy. I'm tired of Jennifer Garner,
enough is enough.
Enough, man, enough. And then, they got this. They're having a sleepover with the Capital One guy, and they're making necklaces and stuff. Like,
Michael Jackson was there, I think.
Fuck out of here! Like, please, like, my God, man. I mean, if a friend of mine once said if he was rich, if he ever became rich, he would. Every time a commercial came on, he would shoot his TV and he would make someone go buy him another one. And every time I see one of those commercials, I think, man, I really want to shoot my TV right now.
Really want to be rich right now.
Yeah, I really want to be rich so I could just get my butler, go buy me another TV. I just shot one.
Turtles Idiot Nation's about to get you there, bud.
Yeah. 11,000.
Yeah, Capital One guy, it's time for you to go home. I don't like you. I am tired of you.
So
just move along.
Who else is going home? The Dukies. All right, so here's how I want to start this. Be honest, and we're going to go down the line. I'm going to start with T.I., and we're going to go down the line. Miles, you're next. Did you...
I'm after T.I.? I didn't see that coming.
Did you really watch the game when it was like a 21-point lead, or did you check out? And be honest.
No, I checked out. I mean, I didn't fully check out. I kept walking in the room and still paying attention to it and checking the score. But
okay,
when it was like 18, and then at some point it was 10. I was like, okay. I was like, if anybody can actually make this a game, a 10-point, like UConn could do it.
Well, once it's 10, that's close
yeah, they
enough.
can hit a couple.
But I'm talking,
They can
it was
hit a couple
21
threes.
points.
They've got the tall, exciting White that's been there for like 8 years. They've got him.
They always got one. Jake Voskuhl.
Yeah, they always have one of them. But yeah, so I kept, because I was I had to run a couple errands and stuff, and I was listening to the first half of the Tennessee game on the radio, and that was just out of hand. I was like, well, that sucks, because I was hoping it to be a good game to watch the second half, but they just got pretty comical. I mean, geez, man, it's like a freaking 30-point game. But once UConn cut it to 10, I was hooked. I didn't think they were going to get it, though. I didn't think they were going to get it. Obviously, we know how it ended, but pretty wild. My kiddo was taking a shower at the time, and when the dude hit that shot, I was like, oh my God, holy, I can't remember what I said, but I was very loud. My kids started calling from the shower. He was like, Daddy, what happened? What, are you hurt? What's going on? Is something going on? Did the cats get out? What's going on? And I'm like, no, I think I just saw the most craziest sequence of college basketball that I've ever seen in my life, and I don't understand why Duke did not just hold on to the ball. Like, I was just like, what in the world are you thinking? They have to foul you. They have to foul you. Instead, you're passing the ball around like a hot potato, and then the exciting White gets a logo three. You're like, this isn't going in. Nothing but net. I was just like, holy shit, that just happened. Yeah, man. I mean, just unbelievable sequence of basketball. That's why it's March Madness. That's why we love it. Totally screwed up a bunch of people's brackets. Definitely screwed up mine. I had Duke and Arizona in the championship. So
I had UConn.
Yep. Well, it's a cute story and all,
story.
But but yeah, that was my take, man. I was checked out, for sure. It was 21 points because nobody's interested in that.
But I all the way checked out.
I had it on in my office, so I kept popping my head in, just checking the score. And when it felt like that there was something there, I was like, okay, I'm hooked back in. So it was great to see that happen live. A lot of people probably have to watch that on replay, but it was great to see it live. Unless you're a boozer, it was not great to see it live. I can't imagine what his dad's probably saying to him tonight. He's probably consoling him a little bit, but he's probably like, that was bonehead, right? That was dumb. All you did was hold it.
His older brother, too, or not. Oh, I don't know if he's technically older, but I mean,
30 seconds.
Yeah, bigger brother, like better.
20.
We do know he's absolutely better. Let's say that. Yeah. Miles,
he gets away with more.
Yeah, walk us through what happened for you.
Only the king of the idiots would watch the first half. I had no goddamn idea what the score was at the half. I was out at the park with my daughter out in the backyard, and there was another dad out there and has his phone tracking. I was like, oh, the game's on. I'm going to go check. I know what he's doing. He's like, oh, UConn's making a charge back. And okay, so they were down. All right. So I get home, 2:38 left on the clock. It's 69-65. So I was a smart one, being totally ignorant to the game at all. So I watched the last 2.5. I made the right move. So, that my biggest point of all of this was it was not what happened in the last 10 seconds. It was what happened with 105 left. You have a 4-point lead. You have the ball, and you decide to turn the ball over at the perimeter. And this guy's supposed to be a top 5 pick. That guy set up his brother, Boozer the Lesser, for failure. And we won't talk about it. Well, I mean, we will talk about it, but we as a college basketball society won't talk about it.
We as a nation need to come together.
This is why America's imploding, because we focus on the end of it, the actual clip that doesn't set up. But Adam, you know how this goes. We coach too many basketball games to realize how we got here. And it runs into the Nico I am a Leva post that you had back earlier this season, T.I. It's like, hi, I'm Nico. You're probably wondering how I got here. And it's like, I'm the younger boozer. You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, this MFer, my twin brother, set this up. Because if he just took the ball to the cup, he at very least is going to get fouled. He had the lane. I mean, he was one-on-one, and if you're a top 5 pick, you at least get your ass to the free throw line. He hits one, probably hits both. Duke wins the game.
Over.
But guess what? No one's going to talk about it besides Sports Idiot Nation. And that's the garbage that makes me hate Duke as much as I do. And what do? They booze. That's just what they're going to do after this loss and sink in their feelings. Beyond that, I'm even more pissed that Braylon Mullins is not in the state of Indiana, but that's what we get for IU being shit. And Mike Woodson doesn't know how to recruit. And I have many of people that know the situation that Braylon would have been in IU uniform. We've been in a tournament, but meanwhile, he's hitting buzzer beaters to send you can't to the Final Four. And makes me want to shake a baby. My son's going to be fine. He's all right. I'm not going to actually do it, but yeah, threat level, like level 4 right now out of 5.
So
definitely threat level midnight, definitely.
But also, here's another thing. So I looked into this because I didn't know for sure that he was born in Bloomington. I knew his ties to Bloomington. I didn't know he was actually from there. And IU fans got to be just so livid that Dusty May is at Michigan and not IU. And it's like, oh, you got to be watching this tournament.
If they weren't cowards and they would have fired Mike Woodson a year before, yes, he would be. And in the year of the transfer portal, in the years that thereof, oh yeah, we'd be maybe not a Final Four team, but we'd be cooking towards it.
Yeah,
he brought half his team from Florida
in the
Atlantic.
Tournament. I mean, if Dusty May did this.
And also Braylon Mullins would be an Indiana Hoosier if Dusty May was the head coach, because that's timeline, because he's a freshman. Yeah. All right.
Anyway,
I'm going to put the pistol down now. Anyways, carry on. It's not about IU. It's not about IU.
Yeah, definitely not. So I just think that was very crazy that there's that little video clip. I don't know if everyone has seen it by now. It's been 16 hours since the game, as it is Monday morning now, but you see Shire, they show that clip of Shire the whole time that 15 seconds is going. They throw the ball in, the older Boozer almost kind of loses it. He passes it. Now it's with younger Boozer, or I keep on saying younger Boozer, the not as good Boozer. And Shire's face is, he's like this, and he makes hand gestures of like this, meaning my take is Shire was motioning for not as good Boozer to pass it. And if you get a bird's eye view, there are 2 wide open Duke players that would have a dunk. And you would think, the oldest thing in the book, fake a pass to make a pass. Hello.
All he had to never killed anyone.
Was pump fake. They get up and then.
Do you know what that's called, Adam? It's called the Duke drill. Do you remember when we ran the Duke drill?
So,
yeah, that's a real thing.
It is honest to goodness a real thing. When Miles and I coached together, we put these kids through on a zone and fake a pass to make a pass. Every time you made a pass, we instructed that you had to fake first, because that really moved a zone. And in this sense,
Duke should have used you guys. Duke,
I mean, it's not that hard. We're for hire.
Yes.
We are out there.
And Adam's quote was, if it's good enough for Duke, it's good enough for us. Well, guess what? Coach K is gone. It ain't good enough for him anymore, because he made that pass. And when they passed the ball in on the baseline, it was, you said that. That was your line. If it's good enough for Duke, it's good enough for us. Well, guess what? They just ruined themselves. And it's a Duke.
They didn't do the Duke drill.
Of Coach K. Yeah, Duke, if it's good enough for Duke, because the kids hated it. Like, it's so boring.
He could have also went like this. Like, he could have threw it over his head. He could have.
He could have tucked the ball and made them come foul him, because guess what? I was about to say there was 10.0 seconds on the clock when they inbounded it. You don't have to get the ball past half court, because the 10-second count
Yeah.
expires when the clock expires.
Exactly.
I just hit my headphone on. I'm so mad.
Your partner
I'm
knocked
so
your
mad.
head
I
off.
want everyone. I want to.
I mean, he could have took the basketball and dribbled it off his head out of bounds and still probably won the game. Because he wouldn't have, UConn wouldn't have been able to set him. Yeah, UConn wouldn't have been able to set up a play. Instead, they set up the kid right there in the center, and yeah, he's practically at the logo. But man, you gave him a wide open shot, and he's a shooter. And what do shooters do? They shoot.
He's from Indiana. What do white kids from Indiana do? They hit 90-footers.
What do Tigers dream of?
Yeah. So I mean, literally, he could have he could have Harlem Globetrotted that shit right out of bounds and still won the game. But instead, nope.
Cue the music.
Yeah. He could have did this. He could have did the thing where you roll it on your shoulder and do this, and then spin it on his finger.
So, let's talk about the shot real quick, because it wasn't like it banked in, ring around the rosy, just net. Come on. Get out of here, bro. This is Dad, this is my range. This is just my range. It's what I do. Get out of here, dude.
And he was 1 for 5. He was 1 for 5 in the game from 3, and he hit that one. He hit that logo one.
Oh yeah, he scored 10 points all game.
Dagger.
It was Braylon Mullins. Dude, if you understand Braylon Mullins, it's funny you bring up Dad, how involved his dad is in the whole recruiting process. And Tommy O, who watches all 275 episodes we have, knows his dad very well personally. Dude, it's so funny. It is so on point for Braylon Edwards to really sleepwalk that game and then just drill a 40-footer, cold-blooded sweater vest, that shit. That is
so funny.
Braylon Mullins.
It is funny against Duke. If it's any other team, your heart kind of goes out to him. But when it's Duke, look, this is all of our faces right now of being disappointed for Duke fans. In 3, 2, 1. There, those are our faces.
I bet Hubert,
it's more hilarious.
Yeah, I bet Hubert Davis even smiled. He was probably like, oh, he hadn't smiled in days, and he was like, oh man, I enjoyed seeing that.
Oh,
gosh. But yeah, sorry about your luck, Dukies, but you're going home.
Beyond epic. I was thinking about how we were gonna talk about this. It was just too crazy. But yeah, that's how it goes. So we're not gonna get into the Final Four because we're able to do that Friday. So also be sure to stay tuned for Wednesday, because we're doing March Movie Madness, brought to you by Film Idiot Nation. Remember, if you have not watched Turtles Idiot Nation Rise Through the Ranks, you are missing out, because every other day it goes up by 1,000. We're going to be pushing 12,000 soon. I mean, that's what's crazy.
Let's get a
we already are at 12,000, so you missed that one. Behind the times, guy.
Oh, all right. We're going to be pushing 13, maybe. Yeah. I can't keep up. Is that? I'm being honest.
12. That's almost 13. Yeah.
Yeah, we're close.
Almost 1 million.
Yeah, we're close. It's rolling.
I seriously cannot keep up. So be sure to follow Film Idiot Nation, Turtles Idiot Nation, Hoops Idiot Nation. Right now is going good with all things basketball. New episodes of Sports Idiot Nation come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, which means we will see you Wednesday. Thank you for watching this episode of Sports Idiot Nation. Remember, we are on all social media and on YouTube, and the podcast can be found on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Remember, new episodes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And remember, because you watch Sports Idiot Nation,
you would be the smartest idiot in the whole world.